You have entered the Chronic's rabbit hole, and Matt, thank you so much for your YouTube membership request. You are bringing down some Nightwish for the Nightwish Army and the Chronicans on the channel. Thank you so much for this. This is Song of Myself with the lyrics and the amazing poem from the Imaginarum album.
Thank you so much, Matt. I'm so excited to get into this. Matt, thank you so much for bringing Nightwish down the rabbit hole. I'm so excited for this because I have not heard Song of Myself. When Kyle did the reaction to Vakken for Song of Myself from 2013, he did it by himself, so I have not heard this one yet.
This is pre-Alanna.
This was pre me joining the channel, and I'm so excited to be back with this because not only are we listening to Song of Myself, but it's with the lyrics. It's the studio version with Annette from the Imaginarum album. So I'm really excited to have Annette coming down the rabbit hole. We haven't seen much of her in a while, so it's exciting to be back. If you guys are as excited as we are to have Song of Myself coming back down the rabbit hole, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more Enter the Chronicness.
And since I did hear this with Flora Vakken, we never got the poem in that, so I have actually not heard Duwamis's poem after this. I did watch the Imaginarum film, so maybe there was a little bit of that poem in there, which I watched myself as well. So this is full first-time reaction for you. This is one of my favorite songs from them, so I've been so excited to get back to this, and I'm not going to spoil anything else. All right, y'all, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Feels like a movie intro.
Oh, yeah.
Sheltering me from the blue, sunbathing on its dead frozen leaves. A kidnap in the ghost town of my heart. She dreams of stories of men with a ghost, of the maze of Whitman's and the ride, raving harlequins, gigantic toys.
get into this chugginess, what are you thinking so far?
I really like it. Annette sounds phenomenal on this.
She does.
And I know that Matt, you gave us a little bit of a write-up that when Annette came into Nightwish, she had a lot of trouble with the first album that she was on because it was already written before she got hired and written for Taria's voice.
Yeah.
But this album, Imaginarum, was written with Annette's voice in mind. And you can hear it in this song how well it's suiting her her vocal range. And so she sounds phenomenal. I've also noticed that above the lyrics, it has different parts showing. So like the next part that we're going on to is called Black Piano. Is this song done in sections like that?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
That's really cool that the person who made this lyric video for the song, did those sections at the top there to kind of let you know where you're going and what transition you're getting into. That transition into Black Piano from all the great heart lying. All that great heart lying still. I'm having trouble reading the font. But going from the transition from that section of the song into the next section of the song was very well done. I love how hard and chuggy it's getting. Sorry, I keep grabbing hair from my face. The fan keeps blowing it. It's making my face itchy.
Do you want to turn that off?
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
But this is phenomenal. I'm really loving getting into it. One thing I did notice is there was a lyric that said, "The only thing left for the encore is the same old Dead Boys song." Or wasn't there an album or a song called
Dead Boys Poem?
Dead Boys Poem. So is that what they're referencing, I wonder, in the song?
I don't quite remember. Like I think this has a lot to do with like a dying man and like his wishes at the end and his thoughts and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure from the movie that I remember, but it's been so long, y'all. So I know y'all will enlighten us on everything here.
The comments always enlighten us on everything we get wrong in the videos.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get into this next part.
Good, good. So heavy. That should be on everyone's try not to headbang challenge.
I don't think you can.
No one's gone through that without headbanging ever.
That was amazing. I loved at the very end when I went, because I was counting it out to get the correct headbang, and then he did a double rest, and I was like, damn it, I missed my headbang. That was so good. I love when he does the boom, because he's done that in a couple of songs.
Full explosion
that
feel.
full explosion feel, and I love that full
Yeah.
explosion feel that he does.
It's such a release, right? Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the within is piano black, but the cleansing waters are the love to cleanse the soul.
Good timing.
I see a slow, simple youngster by a busy street, with a begging bowl in his shaking hand, trying to smile but hurting him infinitely. Nobody notices. I do but walk by. An old man gets naked and kisses a model doll in his attic. It's half light and he's in tears. When he finally comes, his eyes are cascading. I see a beaten dog in a pungent alley. He tries to bite me. All pride has left his wild, drooling eyes. I wish I had my leg to spare. A mother visits her son, smiles to him through the bars. She's never loved him more. An obese girl enters an elevator with me, all dressed up fancy, a green butterfly on her neck. Terribly sweet perfume deafens me. She's going to dinner alone. That makes her even more beautiful. I see a model's face on a brick wall, a statue of porcelain perfection beside a violent city kill. A city that worships flesh.
The first thing I ever heard was a wandering man telling his story. It was you, the grass under my bare feet, the campfire in the dead of the night, the heavenly black of sky and sea.
It was us, roaming the rainy roads, combing the gilded beaches, waking up to a new gallery of wonders every morn, bathing in places no one's seen before, shipwrecked on some matte-painted island, clad in nothing but the surf, beauty's finest rose.
Beyond all mortality we are, swinging in the breath of nature, in the air of the dawn of life, a sight to silence the heavens.
I want to travel where life travels, following its permanent lead, where the air tastes like snow music, where grass smells like fresh-born Eden. I would pass no man, no stranger, no tragedy or rapture. I would bathe in a world of sensation, love, goodness, and simplicity.
While violated and imprisoned by technology.
The thought of my family's graves was the only moment I used to experience true love. That love remains infinite.
As I never be the man my father is.
How can you just be yourself when you don't know who you are? Stop saying, I know how you feel. How could anyone know how another feels?
Who am I to judge a priest, beggar, or politician, wrongdoer? I am, you are, all of them already.
Dear child, stop working. Go play.
forget every rule. There's no fear in a dream.
Is there a village inside this snowflake?
A child asked me.
What's the color of our lullaby?
I've never been so close to truth as then I touched its silver lining.
Death is the winner in any war. Nothing noble in dying for your religion,
For your country, for ideology, for faith, for another man. Yes.
Paper is dead without words, ink idle without a poem, all the world dead without stories.
Without love and the Sami beauty.
Careless, realism, coarse souls. Ever seen the Lord smile? All the care for the world made beautiful a sad man. Why do we still carry a device of torture around our necks? Oh, how rotten your pre-apocalypse is. All you Bible black fools living over nightmare ground. I see all those empty cradles and wonder if man will ever change. I, too, wish to be a decent man boy, but all I am is smoke and mirrors. Still, given everything, may I be deserving. And there forever remains that change from G to E minor.
Whole experience. Just another reason why Tuomas is a genius. In case y'all were forgetting. What were you feeling during that poem?
So there was so much that happened in that poem. I loved how he would say one thing and then go into another thing that was like the opposite, but gave more meaning to the previous verse.
Yeah.
So like when he was mentioning, the one that really stuck out to me is when he said there was an obese woman who walked into an elevator dressed in green with a butterfly on her neck.
Yeah.
Her perfume was strong and sweet and terribly sweet.
Yes.
And she was going to dinner alone, which made her even more beautiful.
Yeah.
Because that was, she was dressed nice, she was looking herself, she was feeling herself, she was taking herself out to dinner. She had that ambiance of like self-worth that she had of herself and was just carrying herself beautifully. But then there was a model who was painted on a stone, on a brick wall, next to a city of death and destruction and sin of the skin, essentially, where they only worshipped the skin and the flesh. So in this city where they praise beauty of this almost ideological way, this girl who was taking herself to dinner was the most beautiful thing, because it wasn't the skin or the flesh that should be praised, but it is the self-worth that she felt, how she saw herself, how she extruded herself and her being outwardly. So that was beautiful. But then that same style continued out through the poem of saying something in the opposition, but then it still reunited both structures perfectly. And I was going throughout this entire poem, it brought me back, as it said, like being a slave to the technology that we carry within us, and not being, and while being clothed in nature is that of the most beautiful. And it just reminded me, because I told you at one time, a long time ago, I lived in a school bus that had been transformed into a tiny home. And I lived on this tiny little island where there was one street light and one stop sign, and there was no technology, and there was a giant fireplace in the bottom of the main house to like heat the whole house, and it was like this like almost ancient way of life that is different from today with technology and everything, where everyone would get together and eat together, and we would go out into the ocean in the middle of the night where there was no light pollution, there was nothing, there was just the stars of the ocean, and you would see the sea foam would glow from like the phosphorescence. You could swim in this glowing ocean. It was just beautiful, and that's what this poem brought me back to, is that simplicity of life. And when you remove all of technology, and you remove the crazy lights, and you remove all the things, all the stuff that we think that we need to be able to get through life, and it brings you back to the simplicity of nature and how nature creates this beauty that cannot be recreated by anything that technology can give us in that same way. When you're swimming through the ocean and it glows around you, and the fish that swim, you can see the glow from the fish under the water. Like, that is something that you can only experience firsthand. And so this is where that poem brought me back to. And even when he was saying, like, you could going and dying for your country, for an ideology, for religion, for whatever it is, whatever you're dying for, there is no honor in that. But if you're dying for another man, there's honor in dying for someone else and holding up for that. And so that also, it's just everything that he hits in this poem, it just comes back full forth for me on an emotional level. And then it was Tuomas, and I believe I heard Troy's voice in Tuomas, and
oh yeah, Troy was in there, Marco, Annette,
like
Tuomas was in there, other people were too.
And so going through all these different voices, and it was like, we're strangers on the road, you don't know us, but listen, because we have something to tell you, and this what we're telling you, it is important, and you have to be able to take context from allegory, but also we're telling you straight truth.
Yeah, and to give you some straight truth, because a lot of this song reminded me about the actual Imaginarium movie that I watched. The song itself is amazing. It's in pieces. I never heard love on there in that poem, but what I remember from the movie is this old man was deteriorating with his memory and all that, so he wrote down a bunch of moments of his life and thoughts of his life and made a song, and then the G and the E minor and all that was the part of the song to start with the piano that he has. And then his daughter comes in and starts collecting all these notes and putting them all together, and then realizing it wasn't just a jumble thoughts of an old man. Like, these were all real thoughts that were about her life, his life, everyone's life, a part of this family. And I love when you were talking about at the beginning how it was giving you the movie feel, and this song was like one of the main focal points of that movie. So it's definitely a movie that we should check out, because it was bringing you this much emotion already just from the song itself. And to get the full context, like, they did such a great job, but you almost need to hear this poem on top of the song itself, because there really is one, and it should be together. And I only heard this song before with the headbanging part, not realizing how much of a story this really is telling. And we all have that song of ourself where we're trying to find out who we are, and sometimes it takes piecing things together sporadically to build one story, which is why I thought it was really cool that they had different people saying every part of that poem, because it was kind of scattered and all put together at the end. So definitely go check out that movie. I have it on my Patreon if you want to see me reacting to it. It got blocked on the YouTube, so it's on there for sure. And I love what you were saying about your interpretation as well, and just how heavy that song gets and then switches right to that beautifulness as well.
That poem is amazing, and everyone should hear that poem, because it speaks so true. And I love what he said also in the poem. It's like, don't say how I know how you feel, because no one knows how another person feels. And so, like, it's crazy how often we try to relate to one another, but we don't fully understand what one another are going through.
Yeah, I actually do get worried, not like worried, I get annoyed when people are like, yeah, I get what you're going through, but it's like, well, like, I'm not here just to like hear you understand me. I want you to hear me.
Hear me.
Hear what I'm saying, not just to say, like, there's so many people in this life that I'll go bring something up and then they just try to top it off with their own story. And like, it's about listening to everyone, because this guy sounded like he needed to be listened to way earlier. And that's part of what music is for. You're trying to get your thoughts out so people can hear you, just so you don't sound crazy yourself too. A lot of the time people think you're just going crazy with your own thoughts. So this is just quite an amazing experience. I was so excited to get back to this song. I'm happy that you finally got to hear this as well with the poem with me first time. It's awesome seeing your emotion that you go through with this type of stuff. So if you guys had a good time with us, you could hit that like button, comment down below what you took out of this amazing poem, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. But we are now exiting the rabbit hole, folks.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This was absolutely phenomenal. This was way more than what I was expecting, and I'm glad you could share this moment with me. Peace and love, everyone.
God bless y'all.
Take care, and bye for now.
One thing I always forget, we always say Tuama should make soundtracks for movies, and I always forget they have their own movie called Imaginary.
That's true, they do.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Enter the Chronicness.
Special thanks to all of our YouTube, Patreon, and Buy Me a Coffee members. Thank you for all of your support.